So I have a lot of BookBox subscriptions. The question I get asked the most is, if I had to choose one BookBox to join, what would it be? So let's go through the pluses and minuses of the book subscriptions that I have and whether or not I think they're worthy of signing up for or it's a skip. We're also going to talk about a couple that I have canceled in the last year and why I canceled that subscription. Okay, we're going to start with the book subscriptions that I haven't had for very long, or I've only received a couple books for them and what I think. Firstly will be Locked Library. So the Locked Library technically does not have a subscription for the US. They kind of do now. It's called something else. We'll get to it. I have a UK PO box. I skip most of the books from Locked Library, but if there's something I really, really, really want that I must have in the resale market, I know is going to be nuts on it, then I will get the book that month, have it sent to my UK PO box, and then have it forwarded to me here. The only two books I have gotten from them so far are When the Moon Hatched Locked Library, which it's very pretty and I love the sprayed edge, and there is some end paper art. Besides that, it's not completely decked out in terms of, reversible dust jacket and all that kind of stuff. And then I do have Blood of Hercules en route. I haven't gotten it yet, but that'll only be my second Locked Library book I've gotten. I can't say I've ever had to deal with them in terms of getting a replacement for a book or anything like that. So far it's thumbs up. This book is pretty. It's not like, oh my God, I'm curious to see what Blood of Hercules will look like. That's all I can say about that one. Now, Locked Library did recently start a US subscription and it's called Forbidden Wing. And I did join that one as well. Sometimes I join these boxes because they have teased that they are going to do a book in the future that I really, 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 really want to have. And so I will get on the wait list. I will get a subscription so that when that book comes around, I have the subscription or have early access to that book. And a lot of these ones I'm going to talk about have unlimited skips to them, so I don't have to get all these books. Locked Library has unlimited skips. Same with Forbidden Wing. This was the first book I got from them. I have skipped the next two books because they weren't anything I was interested in. I will say this is super cute though. I really do like the customizations of this book. Again, they don't do reversible dust jackets, but it's got some cute end paper art. This is for US based, and again, I haven't needed to send anything back or had anything damaged or anything like that yet, so far everything seems great. Also have a subscription to Page and Wick. Originally, I signed up for Page and Wick for, I think, the Toblita Crystal Bloom books. I don't even remember why. I ended up getting two books with them because I forgot to cancel as soon as I got the one I want. I didn't have a subscription for a while. Now I'm back to having a subscription. Page and Wick's next book, I believe, is also Blood of Hercules, which is why I signed up again. But this is an example of a Page and Wick book that I got before when I forgot to cancel my membership. This is Sword of Kaigen. I do think it's pretty. And it does have end paper art. It does not do reversible dust jackets, or at least they didn't used to. I don't know what they're doing now. But again, the quality of the two books I have are really good. They came to me good. I didn't have any, damage to any of the books, so I was happy. I also have a subscription to Probably Smut, which I joined way back in the day in order to get Fourth Wing. Then I canceled it. Then I got it back again. I don't remember why I got it back. But they also have unlimited skips, so I'll get probably one book out of every 5 that they announce. I love the customization on their books, and yet it is very basic customizations. I don't know if it's for everybody, but I really like it. For example, this is my copy of Lights Out, and then they also did a hardcover for Crossroads by Daphne Perry, just to show how they kind of do new covers on things. They don't do sprayed edges on their books. I do think I maybe had one book come that did have a signature in it, but for the most part, they do not do signatures. Their thing is that they're doing new covers on the books, and I think it's really cute. I love this cover. And while I haven't read any Daphne Perry, I just like the simplicity of this. I like that it's hardcover. Most of their books have been paperback, but every now and then you'll have a hardcover come in. They also send really cute goodies with their books, so you get stickers, you get a bookmark, you get tabs. Haven't needed to use their customer service so far. All my books have come beautifully, no complaints at all. I'm not a huge fan of all of their book choices, but it's because a lot of them are in genres I don't read, and that's totally great. I would definitely check their last few announcements to see how you like their book choices. But again, if it's one of those things where you're like, I like kind of one in every 3, unlimited skips. So that's a plus. All right, now we're getting to the bigger book boxes that I'm sure you all know. Fairy Loot. If you've been a longtime viewer of my channel, then you know that I used to have major beef with Fairy Loot. I'm happy to report that Fairy Loot has gotten their shit together. For the most part, I'm very happy with what Fairy Loot is doing now. Back in my day, when I joined Fairy Loot, if anyone remembers the great Ombre book event of 2023, they sent out like 3 books in a row that had the same ombre effect like this, and everyone was like, really, Fairy Loot? Very pleased to say we're not doing that anymore. These are just examples of a few books from the last few months. Beautiful. Their customization has definitely gotten much, much, much better on their books. Most of their books are having reversible dust jackets. They're having very pretty naked cases. Their end paper art has a lot of foiling details, beautiful. My only thing is that the last year has gotten really bad that every single one of their books is just a bound letter with a digital signature. And they're calling this a signature. This is not a signature. They need to go back to hand signatures on these books. I understand not every single month you're going to get that, but it is like 1 out of 15 books will have a hand signature now, and I don't like that. Digital signatures, pointless to me. I'd rather have nothing. Like, this book may be ombre as shit, but at least it's hand signed. So if you've seen the past videos, every single one of my FairyLoot books used to come damaged in some way, shape, or form. I'm happy to report that I have not had to email FairyLoot about a replacement probably in a good 7 to 8 months. Beautiful. FairyLoot is great. The lines are very long. I currently have a YA and adult combo box subscription. I actually want to cancel my YA and just go on to adult, so I signed up for the adult only waitlist. They are currently only sending invites to people who signed up in December of 2023. So I am more than a year out from them getting to me for me to be able to go to an adult only subscription. So if you are thinking that maybe in the future you want to get a FairyLoot book, just sign up for the waitlist now, because you're going to have a solid year to decide whether or not you want to actually have that subscription. FairyLoot does a lot of special printing of books that I want. That's why I refuse to get rid of my subscription, because I need access to some of those sales. Those special edition set sales can be a real pain in the ass. And FairyLoot does some shady shit with those sales. Don't pretend like you're not doing it, FairyLoot. Like the Elsie Silver set signed sells out like immediately. And then just magically, an hour later, they're like, oh, we have unsigned ones we'll do a different sale for. Bullshit, you knew you had both. You had those both set to go before. Just put them both on sale at once. Bookish Box, we'll talk about soon, does both a signed and unsigned listing sometimes. You will click on which one you want. Sometimes the signed might be sold out, but at least they're just both on there and you're done. So FairyLoot, shady as shit sometimes. Also with FairyLoot, I used to have a Romantasy book sub. I basically kept it until my skips ran out and then I canceled it. Not been a fan of their book choices for Romantasy. This year's announcements have been way better. Last year, one of the books I actually kept as part of Romantasy was Wren in the Holly Library, which I kept because the reversible dust jacket or the in paper art or something like that was going to be from an artist I love. Then we got the books, the art wasn't on there. And they were like, oops, we forgot. Here's just an art card. And I was pissed because if that had happened with Arcane or Owl Crate or if like anybody else, they would have reprinted a dust jacket to send us. FairyLoot was just like, too bad. So I canceled the Romantasy because I was like, I don't need this subscription as well. I'm realizing now this video is going to be way too long to do in one part. So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, which I will post tomorrow.